ทุกคนตอบด้วยนะ
What number is this?
2
Number 2. Okay, good. You can see the number. So you just have to look at these numbers and then you remember on your mind what number do you start hearing a sound and what number do you stop hearing a sound. I repeat, just look at this frequency, okay? Look at these numbers and remember what number do you start hearing the sound and what number do you stop hearing the sound. Okay, I will ask you later, okay? Just remember the numbers and listen carefully. Look at the numbers and hear properly. Okay, class. Class, what number did you start hearing the sound? What number? What frequency? Me, I started hearing a sound at 150 hertz. How about you? And I stopped at 15,000 hertz. How about you? Do you remember the frequency, the number? What number did you start hearing the sound? Anyone? Kwanka, what number did you start hearing the sound? Do you remember?
100
100.
teacher.
Okay. Very good. What about the number, the frequency that you stop hearing the sound?
15,000
15,000. Oh, we're the same. So it depends on how aged the people are. For example, for me, I'm 25 years old. I started hearing at 150 hertz, frequency of 150, and I stopped hearing at 15,000 hertz. Okay, what about Oi? Oi, how about you? What number, what frequency did you start hearing the sound? Do you remember?
No.
No. Do you want to do it again? Do you want us to do it again? Let's do it again. Students, you want?
ดูใหม่ไหมลูก เอ่ย
Okay, let's do it again, okay? Let's do it again. Okay, listen carefully. Pang, listen carefully, Pang. Pang, look at the frequency, look at the number. I repeat, look at the number and remember what number do you start hearing and what number do you stop hearing. Okay. Do you hear a sound now?
No.
Remember the numbers. Almost everyone should be able to hear at 8,000 hertz. Okay. Okay, Pang, what frequency did you start hearing the sound?
300
300. Okay, what frequency did you stop hearing the sound?
20,000
Songmeng? What's Songmeng? What's Songmeng in English?
I don't know.
What's that, teacher?
20,000 teacher.
Oh, really? You stop
Yeah,
hearing at
20.
20,000? Wow. Okay. So a normal person can hear starting from 20 hertz until 20,000. Okay? Now, so that is how we test our hearing capacity. Okay? So now let's move on to our topic, which is the steps of hearing a sound. But before we proceed, we are going to have a recap of what we have discussed last time. So last time we learned about sound, right? And we said that sound is a type of energy that comes from the vibration of an object. This object is the sound source, okay? It travels in waves through air, water, or other substances and can be heard. Class, we also learned about the two types of sound sources. What are the two types of sound sources? Can you give me one? What are the two types of sound sources? Can you give me one? First, how do you read this one?
Natural sources.
Natural sources. What is the number two?
Man-made sources.
Man-made sources. Very good. So we have the two types of sound sources, which are the natural sources and the man-made sources. When we say natural sources, these are the sources that produce sound from nature and animals. Man-made sources produces sound, or these are the sources that produce sound from humans or things. So these are the examples of natural sources class. Thunder. Class, this is just a review, okay? For example, the thunder, the waterfall sound, and frog ribbiting. Examples of man-made sources class are fireworks, piano sounds, and people chatting. These are examples of man-made sources. Now, we also learned that sound travels from its source in all directions through a medium of sound class. And we also learned about the three types of medium of sound. What are the three types of medium of sound? Can you give me one?
Solid.
Solid,
Liquid.
liquid, and
Gas.
and gas.
Gas.
The three types of medium of sound are the solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, we say liquid, this is in the form of water, and we say gas, this is in the form of air. So, basically, sound can travel to solid, in water, underwater, or gas. But, sound waves can travel the fastest in solid and slowest in gas. Okay, let's watch this video.
This video will save your life if you would ever be in a situation like this. You have to cross a bridge and you don't know if a train is coming or not. So what do? First of all, I'm not a biologist, but I'm pretty sure that your ears aren't on your hands. But you can actually hear the train coming from very far away if you're active. But do you know why? Take a second to wonder. Okay, I have to warn you, almost everyone get this wrong. So what is happening? Sound is actually just a pressure wave, a disturbance that's kind of pushing to its neighboring atoms to propagate this disturbance wave down the rail. Now here is why most get it wrong. Sound travels faster in solids, slower in liquid, and slowest in gas. This is because solids is much more dense. There are many more molecules in solids. There is less molecules in liquids, and there's even fewer molecules in gases. We can represent a sound wave propagating with dominoes. Because the molecules/dominoes are very close together, they can collide quickly, and therefore the wave travels faster. For example, in air, the pressure wave is 343 meters per second. That's the speed of sound. But in water, it's actually 1,482 meters per second. And in steel, it's almost 6,000 meters per second. So in our setup, the sound wave would arrive much sooner in the tracks than in the air, because a pressure wave in steel moves 17 times faster than air. But that's not why listening. the tracks is effective. Well, even the best high-speed trains only travel around 70 meters per second. And you can see here the speed of sound is much faster than the train, and so it doesn't matter that the sound is traveling even faster in the steel tracks. Sound is fast enough in air. So why can you detect the train on the railway tracks? The correct answer has to do with dimensions. Like a sphere, and so the intensity drops according to the area getting bigger. In 3D, the area gets 4 times bigger when the distance gets double, as you can see here. The intensity is lost like 1 over r squared. That's called the inverse square law, which you may recognize from the equation of gravity. In 2 dimension, like a rock being thrown into a lake, the wave intensity only drops by 1 over r. Not as crazy though. But in 1 dimension, like the railway tracks, the intensity never drops. That's the reason why fiber optics works, by the way. The area which the intensity should be distributed around never grows with the distance. That is why you can spot a train from far away. The only things stopping the sound wave in the railway tracks are dampening, such as absorption of the wave or friction. Like this pendulum here. One pendulum is in vacuum, another one are covered with air molecules, causing friction and causes the pendulum to stop. The sound waves in air just dissipates because it's being distributed in 3 dimension, causing the intensity to drop very fast, but you can detect the wave in the railway tracks from miles away. Because it's only dampening that's stopping the wave, it does not matter at all that sound in steel is way faster than sound in air. Sound in air is still much faster than the train. But don't ever cross the bridge while a train is coming, goddammit. So these stupid kids should have gone away, or at least listening to the railway tracks, or just hide here or hang here when the train is coming. That's it, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing.
Okay, disregard the last message. Okay, I just wanna show you how sound travel from solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, so we also learned class about, we also said that we use our ears to hear. We use our 2 ears to hear. Okay, and now let's learn about the different parts of the ear. Do you know the different parts of your ear, or you just know the outer part? Okay? So you can see this on page 119 of your book. Okay, so first, this is what we call the pinna. Can you say pinna? Follow teacher, pinna.
Peanut.
One more time,
ทุกคน
pinna.
ทุกคนอ่านตามค่ะ
Everybody say pinna.
Peanut.
Okay, so this part is your pinna. You can touch your pinna. Everybody touch your pinna. Everybody touch your pinna. Touch your pinna. Okay, that is your pinna. You can touch your pinna. So, the pinna gets the sound wave from a source of sound. Okay? So, the first part of your ear that receive the sound is the pinna. Next, after the pinna, we have the ear canal. Everybody say ear canal. Ear canal. Okay, this is the ear canal. The tube-like passage is called the ear canal. The ear canal is the road where the sound wave travels into the inner ear. After the pinna gets the sound wave will go through the ear canal. Okay? After that, it will go to the eardrum. Everybody say eardrum. Eardrum. Follow, eardrum.
ทุกคนอ่านค่ะ
Okay, I repeat. Number 1, the pinna. The sound wave goes to the pinna, going to the ear canal, and it will vibrate to the eardrum. Eardrum. So the eardrum will vibrate when it gets a sound, and it is an important part that makes us hear. So this is the eardrum. You cannot see your eardrum because it is inside your ear. So look, class. These 3, 1, 2, 3, the pinna, the ear canal, and eardrum are the outer ear. Okay, they are located in the outer ear. The green colored parts are the outer ear. Next, let's move on to the middle ear, which is colored purple. Okay, so we have the, follow teacher Yan, malleus. Say malleus.
พูดตาม
I
ค่ะ
will I will include this in your exam class. Malleus, incus,
Incus.
the stapes.
The stapes.
Okay, I repeat. Number 4, this is the malleus. Can you see this? This is the malleus. This is the incus. This is the stapes. Class, M for malleus, I for incus, S for stapes, M-I-S. These are the 3 bones inside our ears. And these are the 3 smallest bones of human body. Remember, the malleus, incus, stapes. Okay? Remember that one. The 3 smallest bones in a human body are the malleus, or what we call the hammer, the incus, or the anvil, and the stapes, or also known as stirrup. Okay? I will include that in your exam soon. Okay? In your quiz. Okay, so these are the middle ear. And then these 3 small bones get a vibration from the eardrum and send it to the inner ear. Okay, now let's move on to the inner ear. Can you see this snail-like part? It looks like a snail, right? This is called the cochlea or cochlea. Cochlea or cochlea, they are both correct pronunciation. So this snail-like part is called cochlea. Follow teacher, cochlea.
Cochlea.
Okay, so the cochlea or the cochlea gets the vibration from the middle ear and send it to the brain through the nerve that makes us hear. Okay, I repeat. So the pinna receive the sound waves. Okay, after receiving the sound wave, it will move to the ear canal, it will vibrate to the eardrum, then going to the 3 bones, the malleus, incus, and stapes. Then after that, it will go to the inner ear, which is the cochlea that makes us hear. Okay, now, okay, class. Can somebody name the different parts of the ear? How do you call this one again? I'll give plus points. How do you call this part?
หูชั้นนอกเรียกว่าไงคะ อันแรกเลยที่ทิชเชอร์สอนไป 5 คะแนนค่ะ
Pinna.
Again?
Pinna.
Okay.
You tell your name first before answering, please.
Not pinna.
Not.
Pinna.
This is pinna. Very good. The pinna. Okay. 1 point for not. Next, how about this one? When the pinna receives the sound wave, it will go through the, how do you call this?
ช่องหูช่องรูหู
Canal.
Who is that, please?
บอกชื่อด้วยค่ะ เอาใหม่ลูกทิชเชอร์ไม่ได้
An ear canal.
ชื่อค่ะ
An.
อัน
An ear canal. Very good. The sound wave will go through the ear canal, and after that it will vibrate to the, how do you call this one?
ต่อไปนะคะ เป็นแก้วหูนะคะ แก้วหูคืออะไร
Eardrum.
Kwan khao. Kwan khao. It will vibrate to the eardrum. 1 point for Kwan khao. Okay, this is the eardrum. Then after that, it will move to the smallest bone, or the middle ear. How do you call this 3 smallest bone? This one first. How do you call this? It starts with the letter M.
ขึ้นต้นด้วยตัว M
Starts with the letter M. Starts with the letter M. How do you call this one? How do you call this one? Anyone? Say your name first. You can refer on page 119 of your book. Okay, anyone? Mal? No one? Okay, this is the malleus. Okay, next to the malleus, this part is called
Not incus.
incus. Not got 2 points already. Incus. And then after that, it will go to
Not stapes.
stapes. Okay, the stapes. So I repeat, malleus, incus, stapes are the three smallest bones in human body. Okay, and then after that, it will go to the inner ear. Okay, how do you call this snail-like part?
Not cochlea.
Not cochlea. Very good. Okay, so these are the parts of the human ear. Okay, so now class, how do we hear sound? Okay, it's time for us to learn the different steps of hearing sound. Okay, so sound needs a medium to travel to our ears, so we can only hear a sound when all of these three things are there. So that means it's not only the medium of sound that we need, but we need the three components. We need three components of hearing. What are these three components of hearing? Okay, first, the sound source, wherein we said that it can be man-made or natural. Number two, the medium of sound, wherein we have three parts. We have the solid, liquid, or gas. And the number three, we have the receptor. When we say receptor, it is our ears already. It is our ears. I repeat, the three components of hearing are the sound source. Number one, the sound source. It can be a radio, it can be a sound of a musical instrument, it can be sound of animals, it can be from human. Number two, medium of sound. It can be tuning fork, it can be anything that is solid, it can be water, it can be air. Okay, and number three, receptor. It will always be our ears. Okay, now, here are the steps of hearing a sound. You can see this on page 118 of your book. Okay, number one. So as you can see in the picture in this illustration, the sound source is, how do you call this one? How do you call this, class?
Radio.
A radio. Right, this is the radio. And the medium of sound is, what is the medium of sound that is used here?
Air.
The air. And the receptor is, of course, the ear of this little girl. Okay, let's start with number one. When a sound source vibrates or shakes, I want someone to read it for me. I want Anda. Can you hear me, Anda?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Anda, please read number one for me. When a sound, go.
When a sound
Source
source
vibrates,
vibrates or shakes, it will
send
send
energy
energy
through,
to a medium.
in this
In
case,
this case,
it is air.
it is air.
Thank you, Anda. When a sound source vibrates or shakes, it will send energy through a medium, and in this case, it is air. Okay, do you want a Thai translation? Please check if my Thai translation is correct, Teacher Oil.
โอเคค่ะ
Okay, so this is the Thai translation. Okay, you read it for yourself. Number two, after that, the molecules of the medium will vibrate until the energy reaches the ear. So when the sound source vibrates, okay, number one, if the sound source vibrates, it will send energy through the air, and then from the air it reaches the receptor, which is the ear. Okay, this is the translation for number 2. Finished? And then after it reaches the ear, the outer ear gets the energy. It sends it into the ear canal. The sound waves will vibrate the eardrum, as I have explained a while ago. Okay, I explained this a while ago already. Okay, from the sound source, going to the medium of sound, which is the air, going to the outer part, the pinna, the ear canal, going to the eardrum. And number 4, the malleus, incus, and stapes will vibrate and make the nerves in the cochlea to vibrate too. After reaching the eardrum, it will go to the malleus, incus, and stapes, and eventually going to vibrate in the cochlea. And number 5, the nerves will carry the sound wave to the brain and makes us hear. Okay, so when the nerves will carry the sound wave to the brain, that makes us hear. Okay, that is how we hear sound. That is the reason why you can hear me talking now. Okay, that is the reason why we can hear the sounds around us. That is the reason why you can hear music. Okay? That is the process. Class, you are going to explain later how we hear sound, okay? You have to listen carefully. Okay, you have to understand as well. Do you have any questions about this one? Do you have any questions about this part? So if you don't have a question, do you understand? Do you understand? Are you sure?
เข้าใจไหม
Are you
คะ
sure?
ทุกคน
Kwan Kao is very sure. An is very sure, huh? Okay, let's see later. Okay, so let's have another. This one I'm just gonna show you what is a tuning fork. Tuning fork. So these two are called tuning forks. You hit the tuning fork will vibrate. It will to the air. It will travel through the air. It reaches our ear. The sound reaches our ear. Okay, I just want to show you what a tuning fork is. Next, before we have our activity, let's watch another hearing test.
As we grow older, we often lose the extreme ends of our hearing spectrum. So, how many of the following sounds can you hear? How old
Listen.
are your ears? Okay, if you can hear 8,000 hertz, you're both alive and not hearing. How high could you hear? If you could hear all of those frequencies, as we grow older, we often lose the extreme end.
Oh, did you hear all of those frequencies? Did you hear until 19,000? No? Even me, I just stopped at 16. Oh. Again, let's do it again.
As we grow older, and not hearing impaired, but let's keep
Okay,
raising the
let's start
frequency.
at 8,000. 12,000. I can still hear 12,000. I can still hear 15,000 hertz. I can hear 16,000. Ew.
How high could you hear? If you
Class, did you still hear 17,000? No longer here? Okay, never mind. So let's have our activity. Please open your book to page 129, please. As you can see, this is Pakin, this is Tom, and this is Nant, underwater. Okay, so Between Tom and Nant, who will hear Pakin's voice? Do you think Tom will hear Pakin? Pakin is saying, "Let us go for lunch, everyone." Let's go for lunch, everyone. Do you think Tom can hear Pakin? Yes or no? Do you think Nant will hear Pakin? Yes or no? Who do you think can hear Pakin? Remember that sound can travel through air and sound can also travel through water. So who will hear Pakin's voice? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, just answer me if it's yes or no. Can Tom hear Pakin? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, Tom can hear Pakin. Why? Because sound can travel through air. That's a yes. Now, can Nant? Nant is underwater and can Nant hear Pakin? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That's also a yes. Why? Because sound can also travel through water, but the difference is just Tom can hear better than Nant, right? Okay, so the answer is yes. Tom and Nant can hear Pakin's voice. They can both hear Pakin's voice. Okay, napapatch. Write your answers now. Okay, I
เขี
will
ยน
just
คำตอบลง
count
ไปเล
1
ย
to
ค่ะ
20.
เขียนคำตอบเลยนะในหนังสือตัวเองนะคะ
Can you do that in 20 seconds or 30 seconds? Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Finished? Napapatch, you have to write now. Tell me if you're finished. Kamachon, finished?
ใครเขียนไม่ทันแคปหน้าจอไว้ก่อนนะคะลูกเผื่อไม่ทันเนาะแคปหน้าจอไว้ก่อนนะคะ
Okay. Is anybody finished? 1 minute is over. Okay, let's move on to number 2. From the picture, answer the following questions. Okay, so the picture, what can you see? What can you see in the picture? How many students can you see? There are? How many students can you see?
ช่วยกันตอบแล้วมีนักเรียนกี่คนคะที่หนูเห็น
Oh, that is on page 120. 120. Kwan Kao is signaling 3. Kwan Kao, you talk. There are 3 students, okay, and they are making an experiment about sound. So one student said, "I can hear it." And then the girl said, oh, no. The girl said, "Can you hear the sound of this metal bar?" And then one said, "I can hear it." And then another said, "I can hear it too. Underwater, I guess." Okay, using a solid material using the water, using liquid, and through gas. Okay, through the air. So number 1, what experiment are they doing? Okay, what experiment are they doing, class? What kind of experiment are they doing? They were experimenting about what? About? They are doing an experiment about?
พ่อซื้ออะไรมาให้เต้นหรือเปล่าครับซื้ออะไรมาให้เต้นหรือเปล่า
Class, what kind of experiment are they doing?
ไตเติ้ลปิดไมค์ด้วยลูก
What did we just learn? They're doing an experiment about sounds, right? They're using different mediums. Okay, go. Number 2, number 1, they are doing an experiment to hear through different mediums. They are doing an experiment about sounds through different medium: solid, liquid, and gas or air. Number 2, what are the medium of sound in this picture? Okay, class, what are the 3 medium of sound? You can answer this one. What are the 3 medium of sounds? Oh, mediums of sound. Anyone? What are the 3 medium of sound in this picture? Boys and girls. Solid, liquid, and gas. That is right. The mediums of sound in the picture are solid, liquid, and gas or air. Okay, 1 minute. Finished?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now if you're finished, I think we don't have enough time, so I will just give the next activity as your homework. Okay, so your homework will be... Oh. Your homework will be this one. Okay, this one only. You can see that on page 137. 137. 137. Have you seen it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, this will be your homework. Okay, how do you answer this one? Study the picture and explain briefly how we hear the sound. Now, class, I want you to answer on your own words. I want you to answer in your own words. You can refer to your book, but please make use of your own word on how you understood what is our lesson for today. So we study the picture and explain briefly how we hear the sound. So as you can see here in the illustration, we can see a tuning fork. I have shown you a while ago what is a tuning fork. Tuning fork, the air, and our ear. So you have to explain how we hear the sound of the tuning fork. Okay, I repeat. I'm not gonna give you the answer. You will be the one to answer this one. I repeat. When we hit the tuning fork, what will happen next? how do we hear the sound? You explain in your own word. Do you understand? Okay, class, do you have any questions? No questions? Okay, good.
มีใครไม่เข้าใจกันบ้านหน้านี้ไหมคะ หน้า137 right ที่หน้า
130
137
137.
right?
Yes, teacher. 137.
กันบ้านนะคะ หน้า137นะคะ ให้ใช้ own word ก็คือ ให้ใช้คำพูดของตัวเอง ความเข้าใจของตัวเองที่ทีเชอร์ได้สอนเราไปอะค่ะของวันนี้ แล้วทีเชอร์จะมาตรวจให้เราอาทิตย์หน้าในห้องในชั้นเรียนนะคะ Okay,ค่ะ
Okay, thank you. So if there's no questions, let's call it a day. Thank you for listening to Teacher Yan. Thank you, Teacher Oil. Thank you, students, for listening. What will you say?
You're welcome.
Students, what will you say?
มีใครจะถามไหมคะคำถามของวันนี้มีไหมสำหรับการบ้าน
Okay, let's call it a day. Bye bye. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, you do your
Goodbye,
homework now.
Goodbye ค่ะ
Goodbye teacher
Bye bye. Bye bye. See you next week.
Goodbye ค่ะ